Hello and welcome to Ghostability with myself, Paranormal Mitch.
And Paranormal Teach.
It is episode 20 today. We are talking about black-eyed kids or black-eyed children.
Yeah.
Very exciting to talk about. Lots of cool stuff to talk about with this one.
Actually, spooky topic.
Spooky topic.
Last week we tried to do spooky and it ended up really sad. This is actually spooky. And our spirit of the week is spooky too. So
yes,
we're doing Halloween this week.
Much spooky.
Yeah.
This is spooky season. I got my spooky shirt.
Yeah.
You got some bats.
Yeah, it's freaking bats.
Love Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, so black-eyed kids. Unfortunately, this one was not as like firm as last week. Last week we had like stuff from like the dictionary and stuff like that. That does not exist for black-eyed kids.
Yeah, no.
Does not exist, not even a little.
Some folklore stuff.
Big time folklore.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and summarize it here in this little word here. So black-eyed kids, they are legendary paranormal creatures. They do originate in modern American folklore, which is interesting.
We've never done one before.
We've never done one before.
This is our first time ever doing American folklore.
Well, it's
which is crazy.
Yes.
20 episodes in. We don't have a lot.
That's what I was going to say. We don't have a lot of American folklore. We have a lot of like cryptid stuff.
Yeah. Which black-eyed children are considered cryptids.
We'll get into that.
Which I didn't realize, which is interesting.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But anyways, originate in American folklore. They specifically resemble human children or teenagers with pale skin and pitch black eyes. No irises, no nothing, just like black marble.
Yeah.
They are reportedly seen either begging at the door or at someone's car, hitchhiking. Sometimes they knock on doors. They don't know exactly what they are. Obviously, we'll get into that. We know they're trying to impersonate kids. That's pretty clear. Right. And we know there's something a little bit off about them, kind of like that uncanny valley-ish that we talked about before. Usually they have some intention of wanting to go somewhere, like they want to go into the home or be taken somewhere or something like that. We don't know why, but we'll get into it.
Interesting.
Now, through everything I looked at a lot of different websites and articles with this. There's not a lot of older material. Where a lot of times when we look up stuff, especially like we think about like Changeling we did last week, like a lot of those stories are from like the 1800s, like 1700s and like past. That did not exist for this. This is a very, very new phenomenon, supposedly. So where it kind of becomes popular was in the year 1996. Okay?
So pre-Reddit.
Pre-Reddit.
Which is good because once you start getting into stuff that came out during the time of Reddit, what we see a lot of times with something like this is it starts off as like a scary story that somebody wrote for Reddit, and then everybody starts experiencing it or thinking that they're experiencing it. So honestly, I like pre-Reddit stuff better. So
interestingly enough, that's one of the main things that people kind of speculate on this, is it kind of all stems from one story. It was pre-Reddit. It was not pre-newspaper.
Yeah.
But anyways, so here's the story. In 1996, there was a guy named Brian Bethel. He was in a movie theater parking lot. He was sitting there after he was paying an internet bill in person.
It's oddly specific.
Because that's what they did in the 90s.
It's oddly specific for no reason.
So he's chilling, right? He's writing this check because the movie theater was next to where he was putting the internet, where his like internet store was, and he was gonna like place the check in like their overnight thing. Okay, listen, this is what the story is. Don't look at me.
It's just so specific.
Listen, I don't know, man. So he's hanging out there, right? There's a knock on the door, and he's like in all alone in this parking lot at night. And there are these, I think it was 2 kids, and he said they were between the ages of about 9 and 12. They were in hooded pullovers. He cracked the door a little bit. And basically, one of the boys asked if they could give him a ride home because they wanted to see a movie. They needed to go get money from their parents to go see a movie, right? Now, the movie they wanted to see was Mortal Kombat.
So they talk.
They talk. Oh, yes. They talk. And so Brian is talking to this kid.
Wait, they wanted to see Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
This is awesome.
I know. So he's talking to this kid, and he's like, oh, this is a little strange. Like, why is this kid talking to me in the middle of the night? That's really weird. Why does he like want to ride home? So he looks up at the marquee, when they have like the little rolling credits, like in the movie theater. So he looked at the time, and the last movie had started like previous to that time. So if they were talking to him at 10 o'clock, the movie started at like 9. So he thinks in his head, well, why is this kid going to have me drive him home, drive him back? The movie's going to be over. Like, what's the point? Right? So basically he's like, I'm not about this. I'm not liking this very much. And he kind of tries to like brush off the kid and is like, oh, no, I don't want to do this, yada, yada, yada. So then the kid starts getting a little bit agitated. Okay. The kid starts to like pounding on the door. He starts to like really trying to like get him to open up their car door and let him in. Right. And here's what he said. This is, quote, what was in the article. Here's what the kid said. It wouldn't take long. They were just two kids. They didn't have a gun or anything.
Wow.
That's what I said. I was like, wow, we really jumped to conclusions very fast.
Yeah, what?
Right?
And
so,
how did he say, like, what age?
Between like 9 and 12. So
Okay.
like younger kids, like not even teenagers, like younger kids.
So which is even more strange to say at 9 years old. Like,
exactly.
What 9-year-old says that? You know,
so
like, let's see if it was like an 18, 19-year-old. No, like 8-year-old kid.
Yes.
Say that.
So this is the point in time where Brian starts getting kind of freaked out. Right?
Well, yeah, Brian's not having a good time.
Brian's not having a good time. Now, all along this, he kind of talks about how he like had this like, he was very uncomfortable. He had this like, he called it a soul-racking fear of like what was happening.
Also, like, just quick question, because if somebody's banging on my car door, I'm just going to drive away.
He does that.
Yeah, but like, it shouldn't have taken this long. It's like, Brian, why aren't you
I don't know,
out, man?
Who
like,
knows?
Get yourself out of there.
Who knows? But so this point in time, Brian realizes the kids are staring him with like black eyes. He described them as coal black eyes, right? He starts to like freak out, which if he didn't already before, he then comes up with some excuse. He starts to like put the car, like turn on the car and like put the car in gear to drive away. And then this is the second thing that he said the kid said. He said, "We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay. Let us in." And this is like,
it's giving Vampire Diaries.
He's becoming more edgy. He's like pounding on the door, right? So he drives off and like screeches out of this parking lot. As he's going out, he looks in his rearview mirror and there's no kids there.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
Never a good sign, right? So basically, he's like the originator of the story. He writes it into, I believe it was a newspaper, right? And it kind of takes off from there. All of a sudden, all these sightings start to happen, but he was kind of the catalyst. It happened in Texas.
And the question is always, are people experiencing similar things because they heard a story, or are people experiencing similar things because they've always been experiencing similar things and just nobody said anything about it?
Exactly.
Because, with the paranormal in general, there's so much stigma around it, which drives me crazy. I don't get it, because there have actually been surveys done that show like over 50% of the population believes in ghosts to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, but there's still this stigma of like, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody about this experience. And, it's funny. I talk to people and I'm very open about what I do. Everybody in my life that's ever known me knows what I do. I don't hide it. I don't, and 9 times out of 10, somebody who I've known for like, 10, 15 years is like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you this paranormal experience I had. I've never told anybody this before because I thought they would think I was crazy. And so it's like, was this just the one brave guy that set off, caused other people to be like, okay, that one thing that I had happen to me wasn't insane.
Correct.
Because like for example, I had a friend who I was like, oh yeah, like, let me tell you about my haunted dolls. And we were in school together, like we were good friends and like close friends. And I was like, oh yeah, like I collect haunted dolls. I do this. We hadn't caught up in a while. And he's like, oh yeah, I have a haunted mask. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I've known you forever. What do you mean you have a haunted mask? And then he's sending me all these pictures of like this masked face, like in the window that shows up around his house. And I'm like, I've known you for so long and had no idea that you had any experience, let alone haunted objects experience. So it's kind of, it's hard to say like, is it, because I think it happens both ways too. It's like more people come out of the woodworks, but then also like people want to have an experience so bad and they read a scary story and then everything they start to see or experience is paranormal.
Yes,
exactly. So it kind of goes both ways, but that's very interesting.
It was really wild.
Yeah.
But essentially this is kind of the start. Like there's not a lot. I couldn't find a whole lot before then. There was like some little bits and stories, but nothing really that gained any traction. So then essentially what happens is this guy, Brian, starts to go on, radio networks. He goes on TV. He starts to basically, all of this attention starts to happen because of the story. There was documentaries about him. He was featured on TV shows, on all this kind of stuff, right? So the next part where it really pops up, these are just little snippets. There was a 2-minute video on the MSN website, which is a news network. They post something called the Weekly Strange, and they posted a 2-minute video on black-eyed kids that apparently got a little bit of traction. That was in 2013. And then the last one, kind of in popular theory, is this really interesting case of this place called Cannock Chase. Okay. Have you heard of this?
UK, right?
Yeah, UK.
Yeah.
UK. So basically, this place called Cannock Chase is a tiny little town in the UK. And for some reason, it is specifically known to have a lot of paranormal activity in the area. The most common of which, I don't know if you've heard of this, is the infamous Pigman.
Pigman.
The Pigman.
I don't think I know of the Pigman.
Okay. So the Pigman is basically these two people were walking out of this bar and they saw this guy like on all fours, like chasing after them. And then he stood up and he had the head of a pig and the body of a man.
Nice.
Yeah. Long story short,
normal.
Pigman.
Very normal.
But there's all these different things that are happening in this town. There's Pigman, there's aliens, there's UFOs, there's this massive alien cat, there's werewolves, there's all sorts of stuff. But
did you just say alien cat and just glazed over it like you didn't say
I
it?
swear to you, when I read alien cat and I wrote it down, I was not joking.
That's really what you just said. Okay, carry on.
But one of the main things that's seen in this town is a little girl with black eyes. So she's in a white dress. She has black eyes.
It's always a white dress.
Why? Well, because maybe it's like, I don't know if ghosts, maybe they should appear in black and white.
They just always wear a white dress.
I don't know. It is.
It's like every like haunted location. There's like there's always a woman in white.
Woman in white.
There's a Fae brand of woman in white.
There sure is.
I mean, it's just
They're there.
thing. It's just a thing.
But apparently this little girl is really common to see in the area. And the main theory, which is the main theory that I found, because there was not a lot in regards to like why or how these exist, like logically. The main theory is that apparently diphtheria was a very common illness that a lot of young kids died from, right? And in diphtheria, one of the main symptoms is you get kind of these like sunken eyes. So the theory is if that when they die, they kind of take that form, and then as a ghost, their eyes kind of appear sunken in.
Then why would they be so aggressive?
Well, we don't know.
Okay.
Right. But that's like the ghost theory.
Okay.
Is that diphtheria possibly was a thing. Okay. But a lot of things appear in this place, Cannock Chase. Okay. But okay, so you just got into it. Like, what are they considered? Are they ghosts? Are they not ghosts? And things like that. No one really has any idea. I saw the most common theories were vampires, aliens, or some form of like ghost or spirit. Those were kind of the most common ones that I saw. But people really went to town on like whatever it could be, right? There wasn't anything that was kind of solid. There's no really definitive information or anything on it. Cryptids were another possible one, but it just seems like a lot of these stories are passed from person to person. It's kind of urban legendy, which speaking of, the other thing about Cannock Chase that I forgot to mention is the urban legend in that town is that there was supposedly this like secret military base was there in World War II. And supposedly they used to do human experiments.
Oh, that's a theory.
Trying to mix humans and animals. That's why there's this like the pigman, all this kind of stuff. Because the theory is like, oh, like when it shut down, it escaped and it's now been living in the woods for like 50 years or something. And they wonder if this was maybe like a kid experiment gone wrong, or there was bad juju there that causes ghost stuff.
Do they tend to only show up in specific spots, or have there been sightings like everywhere?
Everywhere.
Okay.
After the 90s, when that guy Brian came out with that story, you can find, there's like little bits and pieces of it like all over the place, all over the world. Which is weird that it wasn't super popular before. I don't know why it's become popular in the last 30 years. I don't know if it's just like it caught on, or because like I feel like I've listened to podcasts and stuff about black-eyed kids, and I was under the assumption they'd been around for like forever.
Right.
Right. but no, relatively common. No one really knows what they are. Very urban and legendy. But supposedly they're like an omen of doom, right? Like if they visit you, they're trying to get something out of you. They're trying to get into your house. They're trying to,
but
do all this
also
stuff.
like the pre-internet days, which is technically when they came to be, right? Like that guy had to go to an effort to call the newspaper to say I experienced
he wrote it in.
Right. And like how many people would really do that with that experience, at that time? So it's like it kind of makes sense to me that it showed up then. It's like this guy, and then once the internet takes over, people are like, oh yeah, I experienced
it goes
this,
crazy.
I experienced this. Right. But like he was the one guy who was like, I'm going to write into the newspaper about this.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody is going to just do that. A lot of people are going to be scared to death and think, oh, if I ever talk about this again, something bad's going to happen to me, and just keep quiet,
Well, they did say that it's by far like one of the easiest things to hoax.
Yeah, it is, for
right?
sure.
So people said like you can edit a video of a kid, like a picture
easy.
of a kid on your front porch as a black-eyed kid in like 5 minutes.
Even if you don't have editing experience, like it would be very easy.
So
the other thing about it is like something you haven't mentioned is like the other way it would be easy would be to misinterpret, because like if you have a kid knock on your door and it's dark outside and they have dark brown eyes, in the dark they may appear black.
Yeah.
So like that could be just like a regular kid, and just like the angle you got them at in the dark, depending on how well lit your street is, their eyes may look black. I mean, it's not like there's all of these like weird differentiating characteristics that it's like, okay, that's obviously not a person, Yeah.
Or you get some teenagers who think it's funny and they go buy some black contacts from the costume store and just go knock on someone's door. And then next thing you know,
too,
right? It's so
I would have
easy.
Done that.
Exactly.
100%.
It's so easy to do that's one thing that I read is like, this is so phenomenally easy to hoax. It's not like you're hoaxing like Bigfoot,
right?
Or like,
Mothman
or like a UFO, like that stuff. You're like, you can kind of tell if you're looking, you're like, this is kind of, but this is like, you could do it in 10 minutes.
Very wishy-washy.
Very wishy-washy. Right.
So it's probably like everything else where there's some legitimate, experiences. And then there's others where it's like somebody either misinterpreted, made up, a kid was playing a joke,
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about the paranormal field is like, there's real stuff and there's not real stuff. And then people see the not real stuff and it makes them invalidate the real stuff.
It's very hard.
And that is like the challenge of like being in this field is like, oh, well, and we see it with haunted dolls. Like there are fake haunted dolls online. I see people doing stuff all the time.
There's probably more fake ones than real ones.
There's haunted dolls that walk around, on TikTok. And I'm like, I watched the video. I'm like, bro, I can see the string. Like I can see the fishing line you have, but then people see that and that's their first experience with haunted dolls. And they think, oh, well, haunted dolls aren't real because look how fake this is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the tricky part. And I feel like this one is very wishy-washy in that regard.
Very wishy-washy, very urban legendy. Like, I feel like this is totally something that like when you're in like high school that you're like, oh, I was in the woods with my friends and I saw these kids staring at us with black eyes. Like it's just so urban legendy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's get into if it has a relationship to other legends. So I found 2 other legends. One was from a podcast. Oh gosh, what was the name of the podcast? Oh, the podcast was called Astonishing Legends. I found this from them. Shout out if you want to go listen to their podcast episode. The other one I found on my own. Yay. So,
yay.
2.
Good for you, Mitch. Good job. Yay. 10 out of 10. You were way too enthusiastic about that.
2 main legends that there is some form of black-eyed kids in folklore. It just doesn't exactly connect. The first one is the legend of the Otkon. Otkon. Otkon? Who knows? It is Native American folklore, but I feel like they're right a lot of the times, to be fair. So these are specifically malicious entities. They would weaponize their thoughts, and they would wound, kill, and virtually destroy rivers, forests, the sky, and people. So this is where things get a little tough. So this is a trigger warning, fair warning here. We're getting a tad dark. Okay. So The Otkan would seduce or not seduce uh, Iroquois women into a forced pregnancy, resulting in a pale-skinned, black-eyed child. And the child was supposedly like the bringer of doom, and they would like cause a bunch of issues and like destroy the village. So what they would do is when the child was born, they would immediately end the child's life. They would burn it, and they would scatter their ashes in 4 directions to prevent the what they call devil magic from coming back together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So that one's a little something. That one's something. I tried to tread very carefully there.
You did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure
You're
did.
welcome.
You're welcome.
Carry on.
The other one, which is also very interesting, is called myling. This is from Scandinavian folklore. So they were incarnations of the souls of children that had been forced to roam the earth until they could persuade someone to bury them properly. So this one's kind of sad. We're getting to more sad stuff. So basically, a myling would occur when a child was born, either out of wedlock or not wanted by its mother or its family, and then would be subsequently killed. And then it kind of created this myling spirit. And then what it would do is it would sing in the night, revealing its mother's crime.
Ooh.
And what it would do is if you encountered a myling, usually it would be like wanderers, it would be at night, it would jump on your back and it would demand you to take it to a graveyard so it can be buried and put to rest. And it was thought that they would grow heavier as they neared the graveyard. And then if the myling was on your back, you had to get to the graveyard, because if you didn't get to the graveyard and you failed to get it there, it would then kill you.
Oh, all right. Well, that escalated quickly.
Yes, it would kill its victim in a rage for not completing its task.
All right.
Because it would get heavier and heavier.
Okay.
So that was Scandinavian folklore. We love folklore. So great. Oh my gosh, so wonderful. Besides that, there is not a lot of other stuff about black-eyed kids.
What's your theory, Mitchell?
What's my theory? I think that it might occur. It might be like a real thing. I think it would be probably like a spirit. The fact that it would appear as black-eyed though is very strange to me. Like,
I
what's the
just feel
purpose?
like that story, at least the first story you told, doesn't give spirit to me. But like then it disappeared.
But what is it? A cryptid? Cryptids don't really like go out of their way to interact with people.
No, I just think it's weird that like somebody had that long of a conversation with a bunch of kids, and then it's able to knock on the door. Like spirits aren't that potent. You know what I mean? So I'm like, they're a little less concrete than that.
I will say, I think another theory that actually makes a little bit of sense to me is that it's aliens. Because I feel like when I've heard other alien stories, if aliens were to try and imitate humans, it would be right, but a little
Slightly
bit off.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes they'd be like, the voice was monotone, their speech pattern was weird, they would kind of stand awkwardly. And maybe it's something that like they were some form of trying to change their shape and they weren't able to change their eyes.
Well, we're going to find out.
We are going to find out.
Because I was hoping my special surprise for you would be we would be able to show you this today, but we're not here yet. So I'm just going to give you the reveal and you guys will see. But I have seen over the years several black-eyed children spirits inhabiting vessels. And I, knowing that this episode was coming, found one that will be coming to live with us. So we're going to be kind of digging into this concept a little bit further.
So maybe we'll need a follow-up episode on this.
Yeah, we might need a follow-up episode on this. We'll see. But that is to come. But you know, it's like there's this question, like, you know, is it aliens? Is it a cryptid? Is it a spirit? Well, you know, we know that there can be spirits of them, but it's a matter of, are they always a spirit? Like they've never walked the earth, or were they living, walked the earth, past, are now a spirit? Because there are certain things that never walk the earth and only exist in like spirit form, that like we can engage with, like certain like non-human things, certain elemental things. There are things that never walk the earth but do appear in spirit form. So I'm interested to see, like, you know, what are those, the memories that they have, that they share. So we will be kind of studying that, and we'll keep you posted on that.
TBD.
So happy Halloween. Surprise from us.
Happy Halloween. But I think it sounds like it's about time for us to head into our spirit of the week.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
an interesting one.
It's a doozy.
I've been waiting a long time for a perfect episode for this spirit of the week. And this spirit of the week, her specialty is cryptids. She is not a cryptid. She is not.
No.
I'm not going to say what she is, but you'll find out. But she has a very intense interest in cryptids, and she knows everything there is to know about them
for good reason.
And she loves to share and educate about that. So you're going to get to hear from her here shortly. She always keeps us laughing. So some comedic relief from our girl as usual.
Could be.
So, all right, we're going to go to our commercial break, and we will see you when we get back.
Hello, and welcome back from our short commercial break. We have with us our spirit of the week this week.
It's Athénaïs.
Athénaïs, a one-of-a-kind spirit.
That's for sure.
Yes. Taylor, why don't you tell us a little bit about Athénaïs, how they got here, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so Athénaïs, I love her. I love her. I loved her the second I saw her. I have loved every minute with her.
I mean, look at her.
Yes.
Green hair, pearl eyes.
Yes.
So cool.
Our house got way weirder when Athénaïs showed up. I mean, our house went from one level to another level.
I didn't think it could get a whole lot weirder.
And then she showed up.
And I was
she
like,
tripled the weird.
And I was like, oh, this is different.
No, it's very different. So Athénaïs is actually a type of fae. She is a Dame Blanche. If you'd like to learn more about her specific type of fae, there's a whole section on her type of fae in the fae episode. So I'm not going to go super far into that type of fae, but I will go into some things about her that make her unique. One of the things, and this goes back to her species, but one of the things is her affinity for messing with men. She is notorious for it. The men tormented this type of fae in history, used them in war, and they have a permanent vengeance against the living men, and rightfully so.
A true vendetta.
Yeah.
A forever vendetta.
It's a forever vendetta, and we have seen it a couple of times.
Oh, have you?
Yes. So Athénaïs, one of the things about her was actually she was supposed to be very like physically draining of men. We have not seen that from her here at all. We haven't had that issue, though I think some of our other spirits keep a tight lock on that so it doesn't happen. But she is not opposed to tormenting, and she absolutely will. And I can't even sugarcoat it. It is tormenting. It's not a joke. It's for her own entertainment, but it is torment. I can't frame it really in a nicer way than that. Exhibit A. So our friends Jessica and Connor were over. House is freezing cold. Our house is always cold. And everybody was actually like cold in sweaters, in jeans. Like it was, you know. And we look over and Connor is like deep breathing, bright red, and just drenched in sweat.
Now, I think some clarity. I think this was the first time they had been here since she was here.
Correct.
Right? It was their first time here.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this man is drenched in sweat. Like, I mean, armpit sweat down to here, whole back of his shirt was like soaking.
Like he's in a sauna.
Literally.
I mean, it was
literally. It wasn't even just like hot outside. It was like,
no, it was insane.
He was having a hard time. Like, he was like, I'm lightheaded hot. Like, to the point where he ran out of the house yelling and trying to get it to stop, and it just wouldn't stop, and he kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Like, he was like burning from the inside out. And
he was not having a good day.
No.
It was bad.
And like, you know, his wife is there, we're there, and we're all like, what the fuck? He's like, is anybody else really hot? And we're like, no. Like, no, we're not at all. And it like clicks to me. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I know exactly what's happening. And I was like, you have to go upstairs and ask her to stop. And so he like asked her to stop, you know, and he like offered to dance for her, which is like one of her things, is like she always wants guys to dance for her. He danced for her, he paid her, and then it stopped.
I will say, thankfully, it's very, very, very good that our dear friends Connor and Jessica like accept the fact that this is a thing.
Oh, I know.
Because if like someone who didn't like really wasn't into this showed up and had that happen to them, they would never come to our house again.
No, like, and like literally
like,
now,
I am never going to that place ever
like
again.
Every time he comes here, because on that specific instance, we were downstairs having dinner before we came up here. Now, every time he comes here, he comes straight to this room and he says hello to her.
Yes.
Every time.
Honestly.
He's like, I'm wearing a nice shirt tonight. Can you cut me some slack?
He really does that.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time. So, and I'm confident she
gets such a kick out
eats it up.
She gets such a kick out of it. And it's like, it's almost like this, like, she gets like kind of flirty with guys, but it's like for the purpose of like harassing them. Like, it's very patronizing.
Yes. Very much so.
But she's funny as shit. Like, she's so funny.
That part's a little rough, because if at least if she was like mean, I could be like, ugh, like I can't get over it.
But like, she's never mean.
But she's funny, and it's like she does it to mess with you, and I'm like,
it's like, it's purely for her own entertainment. We've actually never had her like be mean. We've never had an issue with that. It's always just like she's got like a little edge to her.
Little sass.
But she cracks us up. When she likes people, there's another side. So that's like we don't like guys. Well, I get offerings, y'all. I don't just give offerings, I get offerings.
Of what, Taylor?
Arachnids, aka spiders, but she doesn't like that they're called spiders, so we call them arachnids now, per her request. Hundreds of every kind, every species. I've seen spiders that aren't even supposed to be in our state before, in our house. They show up, they are all up in your face. You say hello, you say thank you, Athénaïs, I know that was you, and then you turn around and they're gone.
Yeah, and do you remember the Beatles?
Oh yeah, the Beatles. So for
the
Fairy
Beatles
Week,
were crazy.
We celebrated there's an International Fairy Day. And we celebrated International Fairy Day by celebrating Fairy Week here, where we did all different things. We educated about them. They got special gifts. We did a live.
We did crystals outside.
Yeah, like we went all out for Fairy Week.
We did a lot.
And I was gifted in return about 1,000 beetles. So I go outside.
Yes.
And the entire front stoop, and there's a video of this on TikTok. The entire front stoop is covered in like 100 of these like beetle things.
These like bright red like beetles I'd never seen before.
So weird. Like, you would think we had like a full-blown infestation, and I would have thought that had I not been outside 15 minutes before to get the mail and there was no bugs. And they're just all there. And I was like, I immediately knew, because the night before had been Fairy Day and I had given her something, and she always has to give me something in return because that's how the Fae work. They like exchanges. So she had to give me something back for my nice things. And that was it, because to her, this is a gift. Okay. She's told us this is an offering. I said, thank you very much. She gave me my 1,000 beetles. And I said, wow, thank you, Athénaïs. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm filming at this time. I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Literally the second I said thank you and recognized it was her, just like the spiders inside the house, all 1,000 of these mother effers turn around and just make a line and parade away. Gone.
Yeah, they just like hang out. They're just like in the dirt or whatever.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Like they're just gone all together. They all left at once. Like it was like a coordinated team effort. And Mitchell comes out 5 minutes later and there's no bug in sight. And it was so interesting. And so she does some stuff that I just like can't even explain she can control and manipulate animals, bugs, whatever. And
the owl.
The owl, yes.
We had an owl show up at our window.
Peeping in our window
before we got her.
The day before we got her.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it was because we got a bio on her before she had to move in, but she didn't get a bio on us, and so she had to take matters into her own hands and watch us herself. So she's just a character. She cracks us up, honestly. Like, she is one of the most interesting spirits we'll probably ever work with. I've never seen anything like her before. I'll probably never see anything like her again. She's one of a kind. And she keeps life fresh. I mean, we've gotten spiders that are bigger than your hand. I mean, and I've never seen spiders like this before.
Huge arachnids.
And they're always like in your line of sight too. Like, it's never like, oh, I'm looking around and I find one. It's like, oh, I'm walking into somewhere and I put my hand on the doorknob and there's like a giant one waiting for me. It's on the door frame into the room I'm walking into. I've gotten them in my car. I've gotten them in public. No matter where I go, I always have a little visitor. So
you got the little jumping spider one time when we were with your family. Remember that?
And it danced for me, yes. And then I said thank you, and it disappeared. I have a video of that one too.
Do you also remember that's when everyone was getting like eaten alive by mosquitoes and you were untouched?
I was the only one not getting bit by mosquitoes, and I'm like, look at me in my little arachnid collection. No mosquitoes for me. I didn't get a single bite. I had like 15. It was terrible. Great. Everybody was getting just chewed, and I'm like, if only she liked men.
We'll get into
my very own bug spray.
We'll get into that.
So,
well, we had some wonderful questions asked.
Yes.
As a reminder of how this works,
she set a new record. She got the most amount of questions we've ever had submitted was for Athénaïs.
Well, she's an interesting.
And I see why.
A unique girly.
Yeah, a lot of questions for her, which is great.
I mean,
we love when you guys submit,
and I think they love it too. Like, they love answering questions, and especially when it's like specifically about like their niche interests, things like that, because they like to educate too.
Yeah.
Which is very nice.
Yeah.
So how this works is we do a spirit box session where we ask these specific questions to Athénaïs. That is on Taylor's TikTok. On the what is it called now? Is it still called like it's not membership?
In the subscription.
In the subscription, excuse me, thank you. And I write down her answers word for word. This one I'll get into it. But anyways, so first question is from In the French Style. Shout out. Thank you. Always has great questions. This is a wonderful question. We asked Athénaïs, who was the better dancer, Michael Jackson or Prince? Athénaïs said, Michael Jackson was because excellent moonwalk. Fair. Not wrong at all. Excellent moves. Next question was from Kim. Shout out, Kim. Their question was, what is your favorite type of arachnid? Thank you for using arachnid forward language.
Arachnid forward language.
And Athénaïs said the jumping spider, which
I've gotten one before.
Yes. They are really cute.
Yes, I agree with her on that.
And she said they love to move in unusual ways. Very nice.
All right.
Next question is also from Kim. They asked, does making men dance for you give you a serotonin hit? I wish I had that gift. And Athénaïs said, so funny. Do Fae have that? Maybe. I think that it's hilarious because they are awful most of the time. You know, Kim? So fun. Next question is from Lucky. They asked, do you practice Sabbaths? And if so, do you have a favorite? Ours is Samhain. Athénaïs said, I do not. However, if I had to choose one, I would pick that one as well. Good choice. All right. Fantastic.
She doesn't strike me as a huge... She doesn't have very many like things that she wants us to like celebrate with her or honor or anything like that. She's just kind of she moves where the wind blows her.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes the Fae do, sometimes the Fae don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're kind of in their own little niche.
It's interesting.
I agree. Next question is also from Lucky. Their question was, do you have a favorite dancer, like a celebrity that can be played on YouTube for you?
We did not know this, and we laughed so hard when she said it.
This was great. And she literally, Athénaïs said, great question. I find Justin Timberlake very nice. So shout out JT if you ever want to come meet your fae friend.
You don't. Bring deodorant. And a fresh change of clothes.
Could you imagine Justin Timberlake just shows up at our house? It's like, I'm here to meet Athénaïs.
Poor Connor is always like, I only have one change of clothes today. Can you be nice?
It's ridiculous. Next question. It's also from Lucky. They ask, what makes you feel most appreciated and loved? Athénaïs said, when people show interest in my work. Very sweet. Great question. Great answer.
She does really like to talk about her interests. If you're not talking about her interests, she don't really have a lot to say. When you strike her interest, she'll keep you on the box for 2 hours. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's only on her subjects of interest. Otherwise, she's kind of like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah. Which fair. I mean, can't blame her. Can't blame her.
She does not really want to talk about anything else.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cryptids and fairies. That's it.
Cryptids
that's it.
And
that's it. And dancing.
And dancing.
And men.
And Justin Timberlake. Next question is also from Lucky. They ask, do you know the best resources to find good information about your kind so we are less misled?
I love this question, Lucky.
Great question. Athénaïs said, find those of us who can tell you real experiences because there is little public understanding. It's good you are watching to learn. There you go. So basically,
there really isn't a lot on her kind out there at all. It's like the same copy paste, like 2 paragraphs that just say, like, very briefly, like, Dames Blanches are white ladies from French folklore and they tormented men, and that's like it. Like, there's really not a lot about her kind at all out there. And so we've learned everything we know from her.
From her, pretty much.
Yeah. And she's very open about it. So it's totally fine.
Nice.
Like, we're not left guessing by any means. She's very transparent about it, which I appreciate.
Yeah. And she doesn't have to tell us that much.
No.
That was her choice.
Yeah. So I appreciate how forthcoming she is. I don't think I expected that from her. Like, just given the nature of who she is, I thought she'd be like more mysterious and like hold back stuff like CL kind of does, but like she's actually very forthcoming and like very honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Next question is from Kendra. Kind of in line with the last question. They ask, what are some misinformed facts about Dames Blanches spirits?
Kind of goes with Lucky's question.
Athénaïs said, mainly, we gave people a bad experience for no reason. We are paying back what was done to us. So kind of going back on what you talked about earlier.
It's an even exchange.
Even exchange. That's how the Fae work.
Yep.
Got to strike a deal.
The talk shit, get hit rule with the Fae. I swear by that. That's it.
Ain't that the truth?
That's it.
You could just apply that to most spirits, to be honest with you. Next question is also from Kendra. They ask, are there any cryptids that you were able to control? And if so, what are they and what's your favorite? Great question. This is a top tier interest. Athénaïs answered, we have been in cooperation with lycanthropes since the beginning of time. We are like commanders of sorts. Understand? There you go.
Lycanthropes, werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big thing. One of the things that she manifests as is wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really nice wolf dream last night.
Yes.
I slept in here because the plumber was coming this morning. And the wolf dream was weird. It was weird. I was like, oh my God, these wolves. I was like, please.
She's just saying hi.
And then right as I'm waking up, it like popped in my face. I was like, all right.
She's just saying hi.
Just saying hi.
It's just an offering.
Yeah, she shows up as wolves.
Yes. There you go.
Werewolves, real, she says.
Very real.
She says not fake.
Very real. And apparently they were like a commander.
And she will tell you this stuff is fake all the time.
Oh,
she has no problem with it, which I appreciate about her. She's not just like pretending everything is real. Like she'll be like, oh no, that's not real. That's made up. That's actually blah, blah, blah. Like she's very straightforward.
Yes, which we will get to.
Yeah.
Next question is also from Kendra. They ask, what is your favorite dance move to have the men do and why?
Oh no.
And Athénaïs' answer was, my new favorite dance is the worm after seeing Mitchell flop around.
Would you like to give some context on that, Mitchell, from our members only live last week?
I would love to. So here's the scoop. We were doing a live session. Athénaïs was talking to us on the spirit box. And in some way or another, I don't remember exactly how it came up. She wanted me to do a dance move. And I was like, what dance move do you want me to do? And she said, I want you to do the worm. So I went out in the hallway.
This is during a members only live.
During a members only live.
The phone is in here recording. Mitchell goes in the hallway off camera.
Correct.
And the whole audience hears thumping in the hallway.
Yes.
While I'm in the spirit box in Estes method, not knowing that any of this is going on.
I was doing the worm. Quite well, might I add.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
So basically, after this, what I said was, now that I did this, like, are we cool? Like, are we friends now?
Are we cool? Oh,
are we
no.
cool?
Oh no.
And she said, I'm laughing. I'm cool. Are you cool? And I was like, I'm cool. Great.
Mitchell treads lightly.
I have to tread very lightly with the Fae, especially ones that are notorious for making men sweat through their clothes. You know?
You try your best.
Try my best. Next question is from Kendra. This is kind of what you were talking about before. What is your worst cryptid that you do not like among all of them? And Athénaïs said, fake ones. It's lame to make things up. And this is also when I asked a little follow-up question.
Ooh, big mistake.
And my question was, what is the worst one that you have heard of fake ones? And Athénaïs said, did you submit a question on the form? I said, no. She said, straightforward then. So I did not follow the rules, and therefore I did not get an answer, and I was scolded.
Should have followed the rules.
Should have followed the rules.
Come on.
That's on me. That's on me.
Life with the Fae is following their rules.
It's something.
And the form is apparently a rule. I didn't know it was a rule. Apparently, I don't follow the rules because people will DM me questions and I take them.
Oh, Taylor.
So I also break the rule. But I guess I'm not you.
Yeah. You might get a pass. I don't get any pass.
And I wasn't scolded for it.
That's true. Next question was from Kendra. They ask, what cryptids are more thought to be real but are more mythical? And Athénaïs said, unicorns. People need to get over that. It isn't real. Get a horse.
She's told us about unicorns being fake probably 6 times now, and it hurts every time I hear it.
I
just want everybody to know. It hurts every time. I'm just so disappointed by it.
Yes, but we have a unicorn here.
Yes.
Yes, we have Kay.
Yes.
Rowan's little unicorn friend.
Rowan's plastic skeleton unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm really disappointed in that, but and she stands by that. That answer's never changed.
That one's a tough loss.
That was like the first one we ever asked her. We were like, what about unicorns?
Yeah,
she's like, no.
We were like, unicorns, Bigfoot.
And every time we do, she's like, no. Like, she's just like so sick of it, but it just keeps coming up because everybody wants to know about the damn unicorns. She had to throw that one in there so nobody ever asked her again, I'm sure. But
there you go. There you go.
I don't know. I'm like, are you sure you didn't change your mind though?
Yes. Next question is from Carly, aka Vix. They ask, what is your favorite color of a wolf's coat? Athénaïs said gray. The classic.
Classic.
Can't go wrong.
Classic gray wolf.
Carly then asked, second question, they asked, are Selkies and Kelpies real? And Athénaïs said, absolutely, definitely. From Ireland.
We've never asked her about that one before.
There you go. The more you know. This is a great question from Carly. This is our last question. They asked, I have seen a lot of people claim they are working with dragon spirits. Since they aren't real, that was from our previous live.
Yeah, she told us no to dragons a couple times.
Yes.
Mitchell's hurt by that.
Right here. Do you have a clue who they are working with? And she said in parentheses, I think a trickster. And then she said, or they said, adding this for mine, Mitch, and Star Fox's benefit. Is there anything similar to dragons that's real?
Because all 3 of them were very hurt by dragons
Very
not
hurt
being
by
real
dragons.
after that live.
I was like, can I get a wyvern? Can I get something?
Can you change your mind, please?
Change your mind? Athénaïs said, interesting. There are many shape-shifting entities that are thrilled to take on whatever form you're seeking. So if you want a dragon, you'll get something that looks like that. So find one of those.
honestly fascinating.
Honestly, great answer.
It's honestly fascinating.
It's a little scary, but good answer. There you go.
Yeah.
Last thing we asked is a question that we asked. We asked about the black-eyed children. So we said, Athénaïs, tell me about black-eyed children. Is there anything? Are they real? Are they not? And Athénaïs said, companion of the Fae.
Which we did not even consider the Fae.
Did not see coming. And I even looked afterward. I was like, black-eyed children, Fae. And I couldn't find anything. There were like little bits and pieces of like, are they Fae? Are they not? But nothing that was like a real, true, hard connection. Because you can find like historical texts like with Fae. Like that's like it's not super, super common, but it's definitely there. Right? That connection I could not find. So maybe it's in a book somewhere, maybe it's in a newspaper article somewhere. It's very possible that it's in something, but I could not find it.
All right.
Yeah. That is also when I asked, hey, can you expand on that a little bit? And Athénaïs said, self-explanatory. Companion means friend. Fae means fairy. Anything dead is a spirit. So if they die, yes. Then she said, dance party?
The last time you'll be asking a follow-up question.
Yeah, I will not be asking Athénaïs any more follow-up questions. And I said,
we learn every lesson the hard way.
Yes. And then I said, Athénaïs, do you have any final words for everyone? And she said, dance party? Goodbye.
Dance party.
Dance party. So there you go. If you any men out there watching, do a little
jig.
Do a little jig. A little
Go
shake,
practice your
a little
worm
shake and bake
skills.
to practice your worm. That's true. Or your moonwalk. She likes the moonwalk. There you go. Well, this has been a fun episode.
Yes, always is.
Yes, Athénaïs, fascinating and incredible spirit. Highly recommend.
Even if she doesn't like you back, you like her.
Oh, I do. Highly recommend. I think I do not give her justice, like her like sarcasm and stuff that comes through on the spirit box. Like she's very expressive on the spirit box.
She has a lot of tone in her voice.
Yeah. So if you have the ability to go watch those videos, you want to go watch them, go do that. TikTok subscription. She has a lot of videos.
And if you ever would like to spirit box with our spirits, you now have the opportunity here on YouTube. That is a new thing for us. Every single Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do Spirit Box Live with two spirits. We have Saya and Amika coming up next week.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do an Estes Method session. You guys are in the chat and you can ask questions yourself to see what the spirits have to say. So if you would like to join us for that, check out our membership here on YouTube. It is 99 cents a month for just the lives. It's $1.99 if you want the lives plus added videos, bonus content, stuff like that. But for 99 cents a month, you can come to the live and view all of the recordings of previous ones.
Sweet.
So if you were to become a member today, you can still go back and see the ones that we did these past weeks. We just on Friday talked to Phineas and Evney, and Phineas shared his take on the whole Annabelle situation because he did have the opportunity to meet her.
Absolutely fascinating.
So that one with Phineas is a really interesting one, and we learned some things that we have never even considered from that one. So
the truth about Annabelle.
Yeah. So if you would like to chat with our spirits or watch Spirit Box videos, the Spirit Box videos are in the TikTok subscription. The lives are here on YouTube.
There you go. For the month of October, they are pre-planned. They aren't always pre-planned. Sometimes we go up, sometimes we go and we don't know who we're going to encounter. Sometimes we ask for certain things. Sometimes we're like, hey, let's talk to kids today or whatever. So if you have any ideas or any thoughts, you can hop in the Discord. You can give us recommendations there. If you have any ideas for podcast episodes, we're always looking for other ideas for episodes.
Please let us know what you want to learn about. We would love to do it.
I love doing research on things. I'm a history person, so I like looking up history for stuff. Otherwise, I think, did you talk about the rest of the month for October?
We have movie nights every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Monday, Wednesday, we're live on TikTok. Tuesday is movie night. Thursday is different events that are like on a call. So we're going to have a Ouija board pendulum night coming up where our spirits can communicate with each other, things like that. Friday nights, the members only live here during October. And then every Sunday we have our podcast drop. And we also just dropped a brand new cemetery investigation. So if you would like to watch that, that is now available as of today.
Great. Well, if you're interested in attending any of those, head over to the Discord. Also, I like to prerequisite this because I'm a lurker in a lot of things. You don't need to interact with stuff too. If you just want to kind of be there and observe and watch people do stuff, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go to the movie night and just kind of watch and not talk, that's fine. If you want to go watch the Ouija board sessions and not talk, that's cool. Like that's totally fine. No pressure. You don't have to interact or anything if you don't want to. You may get recommended or, you know, asked to encounter a little bit. But if you want to say no, that's cool. No worries.
Yeah.
So it is a fun, really awesome little group. But I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Thank you very much for listening to our episode on the Black-Eyed Children. If you have any stories or any thoughts, you can go ahead and drop that in the Discord. You can drop in the comments down below. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you soon.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
We're getting closer to Halloween. Yes. Bye, everybody.